Sorry about last week. Corona is taking over my mind, and I just could not bring myself to do a video. All apologies, but I'm back. Blackest recap ever. We're back. Insecure season 4, episode 4, and I love everything about this because it's some pivotal scenes and it's some great questions we need to ask about friendships. First off, Issa is one of the worst property managers ever, and we open up to the scene where it is a conflict in regards to her being the property manager and her being able to balance the block party, which I also see is a theme where can any of these characters maintain their relationships? Can there be a balance? Can we do more than one thing, right? So back to this. By the way, today's recap is brought to you by Sean Leone Beauty. That's that skin. I got that glow up facial oil. Also, the Abyssinian hair oil is in my new braids. I did my braids by myself, everyone. Congratulate me. I haven't put braids in my hair by myself ever. So this is up. Shout out to Champagne. All right, get back on track. So then we see that that someone has dropped the ball with Issa in regards to doing the flyer. And so this is where it kind of gets a little crazy because she's been reaching out to Condo, and Condo hasn't gotten back to her. Condo, by the way, is Condola. We know that last episode for Thanksgiving, her and Lawrence got into a fight, and then Lawrence and Issa started speaking again. So that's all tricky. So let's move along, and I really want to get into Molly and Issa with the parking space, but how it trickles into visiting baby Simone and going to Tiffany's house. So Molly I'm not team Molly because I think that Molly has some components about her that are really, really insufferable. And I think that what Molly doesn't understand is that not everything is going to be a damage to your career. You know, I feel like Issa is growing, and I don't think Molly wants Issa to grow per se in the way that she likes for her to grow, and that she's also doing it without Molly. And we see like this weird sort of combative component, this kind of like tit for tat where, you know, we were once really, really good friends, and now I can't make fun of you when they're at Tiffany's house when, you know, Issa made a joke and she referred to Molly as Jada because, you know, we do kind of idolize Jada and Will. And Molly looked at her like, please don't play with me. And that's a tricky thing because once we're in a friendship together and we can't make fun of one another, are we really friends? That's my first question when it comes to friendship. If I can't make fun of myself and if you can't make fun of me in a scenario and we laugh about it, then are we really friends? Right? So that really sort of stuck with me because it was kind of like, it just really like these jabs. But then, you know, Issa had asked Kelly, is there something going on? And then Molly asked Tiffany, do you detect if something is going on? And this is the first time where we've ever seen Tiffany actually provide, I think, an insight and be a good friend. You know, so often as we become adult friends, people are so quick to kind of say, especially in a group of friends, where they don't highlight that there's a possibility that everyone should be communicating. And instead, they will sadly just kind of to not want to be bothered or to not really care, to not value the group friendship as a whole, kind of sort of just say, oh, you know, whatever. I feel like Tiffany really brought some great insight where she said, listen, maybe you guys need to talk it out, or, you know, things are complicated, and, you know, don't knock her, you know, speak to her about it. And that was the foreseeing of, with Tiffany, seeing these aspects about her that you had never seen before. And I don't know if we all kind of sort of thought about it that deeply, but it definitely sort of touched me in a way. Anyway, I wouldn't have given Molly that fucking parking space. Another thing that I wanted to speak about, the montage where they mention about baby Simone being someone's daughter. That was one of, somebody's at my damn door making noise. That was one of the weirdest things that I had ever seen. And it really sort of harps back into patriarchy. Now, I know this is semi going off track, but if the only time you respect women is if you're related to one, you really don't respect women. You know, that, you know, men say that so often is right up there with, oh, I have a black friend, I can't be racist. It's like, oh, I can't be sexist, I can't be a horrible person because I have a sister, or I have to be respectful of women because I have a mother. We all come from a mother, right? We all come from a mother. So that kind of really sort of got on me a little bit. I don't know. So Lawrence wants to speak to Issa. They just want to kind of chat. I feel like there's a dynamic where I feel like Lawrence really misses that about Issa, because they truly have a friendship. They truly have a bond as friends, and then they were lovers. And I think that that's a really beautiful thing to see. It's this candor, this open aspect of jokes, this fluidity of laughter. It's a healthy and beautiful thing that I absolutely love seeing. But Lawrence is getting ready to open up to her, where then Issa finds out that her main person has dropped out. And shit, anybody who's thrown an event knows that that's a possibility that can happen, and it hurts because your mind is just racing 1,000 miles and you don't know what you can do next. And I think he was getting ready to tell her something. I don't know if it's I'm not with Condola anymore or anything like that, because Condo, as I like to call her, is nowhere to be found. She's ghosting bitches. She went from super professional and on point to now ghosting people. So here's my thing. Is she not with Lawrence? Is it that it was, well, I would rather not work with Issa than, and I want to be with you, so I'm not going to return her calls, because then that kind of sort of phases into what we'll get into in a few minutes with Molly. But it's a tricky thing, right? And I feel like I don't know if Condola is just ghosting, or is she trying to figure things out. I mean, listen, if you took on this gig and the gig is temporary, get the gig done. Don't fuck with Issa anymore. That's pretty much all you have to do. I mean, I don't think that it's going to be a component of will we be able to save our relationship. You took this gig on a professional aspect. If you decided to take it and you went further with it, you should have taken it and kept it moving. But whatever. So then we see Issa going through her phone, trying to make phone calls. We've all been there. If you've ever had an event and maybe a sponsor drops out or a speaker drops out last minute, shit, it happens when you're styling, when an outfit drops out or a look drops out, and you just go into flight mode and you're just trying to make contacts and call people. And, you know, I felt like when Issa reached out to Molly, when she kind of had that aha moment when she looked through Instagram and realized that there's an artist that is on Rock Nation, and is there a possibility that Andrew can introduce her to that person? We've all been there. You know, especially if you're a creative person, the most creative people have an inspiring and supportive network. And that's just true honesty. People who are creatives, people who create, they have a really great network. It doesn't also just begin at home and it's before the fans. There is a network of friends and people that you know, and you hope that can, you know, elevate you and your path in your career. And so when she reached out to Molly, it kind of threw me off where she was wanted to speak. And I get it, right? As a friend, sometimes you're thinking, oh, this person wants to speak and I want to tell them. But from Issa's perspective, her reaching out to her to ask her those questions, to ask her, hey, can Andrew put me in contact with this artist? It's happened. You know, I'm from the school of, if we are friends and we can't put each other on, are we really friends? In this whole world of Black girl magic and sisterhood and Black empowerment, that component of helping your inner circle to help them get places is the whole being, right? No person gets somewhere by themselves. And so when she did ask Molly, and Molly seemed a little turned off by it, it really threw me off the other way. Can we also get back to Molly and all these fucking problems that she has with Andrew? You know, Molly is someone who, she likes talking about the relationship after it has unraveled. And she likes the drama. She doesn't like peace and calm. And it sadly is very stereotypical, because so often Black women have believed that trauma is the basis of the relationship. And it can't just be, and it's like, oh, we have makeup sex, or oh, we start fighting. And also, no grown professional man is going to be waiting like a puppy dog for you to be finished work or for you to put that person second, right? So they make up and have their own friends. And congratulations to Andrew for having a network and friends and people he can meet up with, because who wants to be someone's second fiddle? And listen, another thing, I have yet to watch a show with a lawyer and they're not stressed the fuck out. Every time somebody tells me they're going to law school, I'm assuming they want to gain 40 pounds and age 25 fucking years when they work at a law firm. Not once is the pathway of being a lawyer ever shown to be fruitful. They're compensated well, but it's always shown to be a huge sacrifice, especially for romance and especially for family. We saw it on Sex and the City. You see it on Ally McBeal. You see it on Maxine from Living Single. It's always sort of like, I'm a lawyer. I'm this high-powered lawyer. I make these major decisions. I know the law. I practice mergers and acquisitions or whatever else, whatever you practice. But it never shows people in a great light on any other balance of their life. Can you tell me this? And please tell me, because my mother always wanted me to go to law school, and that wasn't going to happen. I'd rather just enjoy life with my crayon degree. All right. So then we move into the aspect of Molly sits down with Andrew and they have this conversation, and Molly says, look, I've never been this far with someone to even know what to do. And I think I like that transparency, but of course, Molly always fucks something up. And she calls Issa in the bathroom, and this shit really hurt me. It hurt me to the core. It did not sit right with my spirit. Kanye voice. It hurt me to the core when she called Issa and said, listen, I can't help you because I really want to make this thing work with my man. Listen, rule number uno in the Black Girl Guide to your homegirls. Never tell your homegirls you can't do some shit because of your man unless it's truly, completely, honestly acceptable. And the only acceptable thing is, girl, don't introduce me to no other dude and I got a man, right? Girl, don't ask me to steal from my man. Like some real stuff like that. But you never tell your homegirl of years, hey, I can't do that for you because I really want to keep this relationship going with my man. And especially what I felt as though Issa was asking for. Issa is really having a renaissance period. She's really, I feel like if this block party goes really well for her, it will uplift her on so many levels. And I think that Molly is afraid of seeing that about her. And I feel like, Molly's been so hands off, whereas Kelly has come through. Molly has been more of a participant in these upcoming events. Kelly was the bartender. Tiffany, was able to get her wine contact. And it was so effortless to a certain extent. Condola is this new person. And when Molly said that, it still does not sit right with me. And, I'm looking through Instagram and I'm reading all these people saying, well, you don't call nobody up for a favor and everything's not okay. Listen, that's the ups and downs of relationships, especially platonic relationships. Things happen. People don't always know their place in it. Shit happens. But if we're really cool and it hasn't been no blown out shit, I may brush it off, but I'll send you the email or I'll say, listen, here's his number, you handle it. And then y'all all take it from there. But to not even make the introduction, that really bothered me. And it leaves me to say anything that may happen to Molly for the rest of the season, and if it's bad, the bitch deserves it. On that note, see you next week. Blackest recap ever. Remember to subscribe. And again, if you want your skin looking like mine, Sean Leone Beauty. I'm wearing the Glow Up Face Oil, and it's Abyssinian Hair Oil in my scalp. Cheers.